Welcome back, everyone. It's been a while since I've done a video, especially one that's like this. Honestly, I've wanted to do another one, much like my previous Pokemon video, but I just haven't had much of a chance between school and wanting to take advantage of the sometimes nice summer weather. I mean, it's been crazy here. One month it's amazing, the next it's nothing but rain. Hopefully the rest of the summer gets better, but I'm getting off topic now. But anyway, I'm finally back, until I decide to take another 4-month break because I'm awful with schedules. That's a joke. But jokes aside, today I wanted to touch on a topic that I've had mixed feelings on, and that would be the Pokemon Coronation series from Pokemon Journeys. Personally, I believe the thought of a global world tournament is one that could have been filled with endless possibilities when it came to Ash and his challenge this season, which, in short, for those who haven't watched it, is he wants to get into the top 8 ranking of the PWC and make it into the Masterclass so that he can get into the end-of-season tournament and have a chance to battle Leon. However, the way they have it set up, I feel it's not built up to be as great as it could have been, if I'm being honest. While the PWC allows several great battles, some examples coming to mind such as Ash vs. Visquez and Ash vs. Dozer, there are definitely some questionable matches with the manner in which they're handled, or they're just short little side notes to a different episode, which there's nothing wrong with that if handled right, but a lot of battles are shown to be off-screen, and others that are quickly shown are just, how do I say it, you know, like just a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Like, I don't know, I think it wouldn't hurt them to do it a little longer, but whatever. But regardless, let's get into the issues that I actually have. The matches that pertain to the returning characters in Journeys, such as Karina and Iris, these are two battles I actually have issues with for almost exactly the same reason. And that is the major fact that Ash is using only the team he's captured during Journeys, which, you know, he does every season, with the exception of Johto, but that was still pretty much the original series, and they were testing things out. But anyway, it makes sense that Ash would, you know, not call on his reserves, and he'd want to be able to do this challenge with his new team, but it actually hurts the PWC as, because of this, we're supposed to believe that a team Ash has trained at the time of this video in roughly 75 episodes is on par with not only the PWC's strongest trainers, but also against trainers in the past who have shown to be powerful, to the point that even Pikachu, Ash's strongest Pokemon, well, strongest to me, I'm not going to get into arguments over which one's stronger and this and that, but anyway, they would push Pikachu to his limits. And this is mainly showcased in the matches against Karina and Iris, who were both used to move Ash up in a rank, and were also the only two returning characters to take part in the PWC so far. So with it, Ash manages to beat both of them with fairly new Pokemon. Well, with Iris by that point, I wouldn't say one of them's fairly new, but still, compared to his other Pokemon that he has at Oaks, it's new. So with the Karina match, which I'll cover first, it's his newly caught Dragonite, who, I don't remember the exact episode, I want to say it's episode 10 or 11 that he catches it in, and it takes down Karina's Mega Lucario, a Pokemon that, back in X and Y, gave Pikachu difficulty. I mean, the first time they battled, he lost, and then the second time, he barely won, but I'm not saying Dragonite couldn't take it down, especially since it used Dragon Dance, I want to say twice, to boost its stats, but this was Dragonite's first major on-screen trainer battle with Ash, and to defeat a Mega Lucario, who in X and Y managed to defeat Pikachu and then almost beat it a second time, to me it's a little bit of a stretch, especially since during the match, Mega Lucario was boosting its own attack stats as well. And this issue also pops back up in the Iris match, because in that battle, Dragonite is struggling, who I think at this point is Ash's strongest in Journeys, but that's a completely different topic for maybe a different video, we'll see. And with it, he brings in his newest capture, oh god, I'm gonna butcher this like I do all the time, Dracovish. A Pokemon who was having its first ever battle, not even saying like it had battles against wild Pokemon, this was its first ever battle. Like, in its entire history. Not even as a wild Pokemon it battled, because it's a fossil. And now the match isn't just against a random Pokemon either, but it's Iris's ace from the Best Wishes series, Dragonite. Dragonite had been shown to be incredibly powerful, and with it, the match begins again. We got Dragovich and Dragonite facing each other, and this Dragonite, which had been shown several times to be one of Iris's, if not Iris's, strongest Pokemon, a Pokemon of a now titled champion, the champion of Unova, which is an issue I have with, but that's a different video again, losing against a Pokemon having its first ever battle. Now, you can say that Dragovich was probably trained off-screen and all that, but it's still just hard to look at and say, oh yeah, this is good writing, this is how it should be done, you know, just have this Pokemon in its first ever on-screen action, well, not action, but, you know, battling, defeat a champion's former ace. And I say former because I'm not going to get into it, but it's spoilers for that episode, and you know what, just go and watch the episode if you want to see what I mean. But anyway, so with it, that battle can be taken in one of two ways. That means either Dragovich is ridiculously strong, that it's above the likes of Ash's Charizard, his Greninja, his Sceptile, his Infernape, even Pikachu, since it's the first one to ever defeat a champion's Pokemon on screen, if we're not counting the time that Alder forfeited to Ash and Pikachu. But it's either that, or it's implying that Iris is a weak champion, and the weakest champion of them all. And honestly, both outcomes don't look well, regardless of the character you're trying to defend, or the character you're not trying to defend. Now, the second issue pertaining to the PWC is kind of different than my first one, whereas it was the Pokemon being used. Now my issue is more the lack of updates in, like, the standings. And I'm not talking about Ash, because Ash we see all the time, you know, his standings updating. Even in random episodes it will show that his numbers went up, though most of the time the random episode was more a PWC match, where it would end up showing that he'd have a match later on, and that number would jump again. But anyway, to me, Pokemon has always been a sports anime, a tale of a young boy setting out, training for the big tournament at the end of the season, hoping to defeat his rivals, learning new skills along the way, and this can be seen in the form of Pokemon battling, because in the anime, you can pretty much say battling is sort of a sport with how they get into it. And with it, individuals train a team, and they take on gyms or local tournaments to grow stronger. They get rivals along the way, and they push each other. Now, the PWC is missing one key component that would allow it to be the ultimate sports tournament, and that would be updates on the other trainers. We know in past Journeys episodes that a trainer can look up others' information rather easily thanks to their Rotom phone, and even in the past of other series, Ash had constantly learned where his rivals were at in their own league challenges when they bump into each other, and, you know, they'd be like, haha, I have 5 badges. Oh wow, you're so cool, Ash. I have 28 badges. However, there's been no updates in Journeys, as we've only ever updated once, which was actually about B. It was about, what was it? I want to say like episode 38 or 39 or something. Really, the only thing they found out about the update was that she almost made it into the Hyper or Ultra class, depending on which term you want to use, and that she was in Cyanwood City with Chuck. But let's hold on about that, and let's... Actually, I'm probably not going to go back to that, but let's think about it, though. How hard, like, in a Journeys episode, would it be to include a short 2 to 3 minute segment to open a random episode, or even while they're just traveling, just have it be a segment where Ash is watching a PWC match of, just say, Leon or Raihan or B, and just see how the three are progressing through the standings and how they're doing in their own matches. Though, I would also prefer if it was like a new rival for Ash, an original character for the anime, because every series except for Sun and Moon and now Journeys has had him have an original character as his true rival for a series. And either way, I would just love to see these characters be shown for 2 to 3 minutes in an episode, having their own individual battles in the PWC, and seeing Ash react to their ranks going up or just reacting to their battles. I mean, just think about it. Imagine an episode where Ash and Go learn that a PWC match is being held, like similar to the Leon versus Raihan episode, and they head out to watch it. Honestly, it could be very similar to that match, but keep the main focus of the episode on the match of the two trainers, and even in the end, Ash could say, hey, I want to challenge you in the future, like how he always is, and the two can grow a small rivalry. And I'm not saying so much that it has to be Leon versus Raihan, but it could be just two new trainers being introduced for the now going on Ultra class. Instead, we're highly unlikely to get anything like that, especially as Ash has officially made it into the top 99 trainers in the PWC, leaving him with only... Well, actually, I don't know how it works. Would he be able to face ranks 1 through 8 since they're in the Master class? I don't think so. So that would just leave him where he's sitting at rank 99 to face to rank 9. Though, I won't lie. I'm very hesitant for his next match, which, based on leaks and everything else, it looks like it's going to be against Volkner, the Sunny Shore gym leader from Diamond and Pearl, the one that Ash beat in a 3-on-3 with Pikachu, Torterra, and Infernape. And while I hope the Ultra class will be comprised of 3-on-3 battles, I'm expecting either 1-on-1s for small, non-important battles, or 2-on-2s for the big ones, which, I don't know, I just feel like 3-on-3s are better, but, since Sun and Moon, they're very hesitant to give us any 3-on-3s in the anime, but that's not important. Well, it kind of is for a huge battling tournament that spans the globe, but hey, whatever. Likewise, it's looking like the Ultra class could have more returning characters, as in the episode where Ash ranked up into it, they had silhouettes of his challengers. Well, possible challengers. We don't know if he'll challenge all of them, and with it, we knew there was Volkner in the silhouette, and there was B, and there was a few other characters that people couldn't tell if they were returning or new characters, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Though, the problem with that is, it will once again cause problem number 1 in this video, to rear its head back in. Now, I know it feels like all I do is complain about journeys, and Pokemon as a whole, especially when you look at my last video, which is me just complaining about the anime. Well, not the anime, but Ash's handling. But, honestly, and it might not feel, but I actually enjoy the series as a whole. And, well, okay, maybe not anything, but especially anything from the Tomiyasu era, which is Sun and Moon to Journeys, which I have a lot of issues with that. Maybe I should write a video about everything I dislike of what he's done. I probably would never film that because I would hate myself for it, but anyway, I do enjoy Pokemon, and it's a series that I've grown up with since, I want to say I was 3 years old when I was watching the anime. I watched it when it first came out on 4Kids every day, and it was fun. I remember I think it was 4 o'clock every day. I'd sit down in front of the TV and I'd watch the new episode, and then they would have a rerun of, I want to say, the previous episode right after it, and it would be an hour where I'd be sitting there. I want to say my grandmother would be watching me as my parents were at work, and then when that episode ended, my parents would come home. But anyway, my complaining is really due to the need of me to vent about my frustrations about the way this series and the whole Pokemon anime has gone since Sun and Moon began. And honestly now, looking back, it's been almost half a decade now of me being frustrated. It might just be time for me to say Pokemon's dead to me as an anime and just stick to the games and other shows that I watch that are good, like My Hero. And I just want to believe that the PWC can be salvaged and handled properly now that there's only 99 trainers left. But I just don't want to get my hopes up and be crushed. Anyways, thank you for listening to my rambling today, everyone. If you could leave a like on the video, that would be greatly appreciated, as I've been told it helps the videos out greatly. Anyway, maybe leave a comment as well, letting me know what kind of topics you'd like me to cover. Whether it's Pokemon or another series, it doesn't make a difference to me. Just let me know if you want to hear more of me talking about random things, and if you do, I'm just saying it doesn't need to stay strictly Pokemon. We can branch out in other directions. Also, please subscribe if you like the content, and if you don't like it, maybe you could still subscribe. I'm not sure, it's up to you. I got other content coming too. Either way, have a nice day, and hopefully I don't take forever to get my next video uploaded.